Men are just bored. He encouraged the immortals to peek at Chang's bath. Now he has been demoted to Earth, but still feel bored because of no setbacks. He not only unified the 6 states and became the emperor of all ages, but also the supreme martial artist, and Shao Jianghu. He even unified all the underworld gangs in Long Country. The girls even asked Tang Chuan to favor them every night. But Tang Chuan had already found it boring. While the girls were competing for favor, time stopped. What appeared in front of him was a woman from the fairyland, Ming Sixing, and called Tang Chuan Senior. Seeing this, Tang Chuan knocked out everyone present. Yin Sixing said there was a major event in the fairyland, asking him to discuss it. He wondered if the previous emperor made a mistake. The man in front of him, he couldn't possibly have lived for 3,000 years. Then Tang Chuan asked him who the current emperor was. The current emperor is an 8-star. Originally named Dao King, Tang Chuan recalled when he scored a goal, the kid who wanted to learn the double cultivation method. Unexpectedly, he has become an immortal emperor now. However, I explored the mystery of life with the Thunder Fairy. Dao King took the blame for me before King Ting died and endured hundreds of years of lightning strikes. I'd better go back and have a look. Then you open the channel to the immortal realm privately. Tang Chuan said that was a dog hole. I won't go back through that. With a random wave of his hand, a gate appeared in front of him. After returning to the immortal realm, Dao King told me with tears and snot. Tang Chuan said, "Didn't I teach you the rejuvenation technique? Why are you still so old?" Dao King asked him to talk. It turned out that Tang Chuan peeked at Chang's bath and stole the peaches of the Queen Mother, which violated the law. If others knew, I would definitely lock him in a dark room. Then he asked Dao King what he wanted. It turned out that there were signs of revival half a year ago. The fairy army sent out has no news. I suspect that the devil world has recovered its full strength. Tang Chuan asked if I was called back to fight. Dao Qing smiled. In the current immortal world, only you can turn the tide. But Tang Chuan turned around and left. I'm not interested in maintaining peace in the fairyland. Dao Qing begged the fairy compatriots. They should just be trapped and still salvageable. Tang Chuan was still reluctant. Unexpectedly, Qing said, "Don't you want to have sex with the female devil cultivator?" Hearing this, Tang Chuan stopped in his tracks. Interesting. The last time he ended the demon lord's destruction without doing much. Dao King immediately stepped up efforts. The female devil cultivator has a hot figure and good at kung fu. Definitely worth the big brother to meet them. And Lin Sikin heard everything behind him. Unexpectedly, saving the immortal world is not as good as the female devil. Is it really okay to leave the fate of the fairyland to him? Dao Qing said that. The mission is to be an undercover agent in the devil world, to understand the recovery of the demon world, to avoid future troubles. Hearing this, Tang Chuan was already excited to be an undercover agent. The man used to be a gang leader, enjoying himself every night, with countless fans waiting to be picked every night. He was also the supreme martial artist and dominating the martial arts world. Even the former emperor was his subordinate, but he just went undercover in the devil world because he was bored. While the demons are celebrating the road to recovery, were singing and dancing. But Tang Chuan's goal is to practice dual cultivation with a female devil. No, it's to find the reason for the resurrection of the demons. The demon lord said that to prevent undercover agents from the immortal realm. 5 assessments are required. Tang Chuan thought, is the demon world so fun? The demon world host introduced the rules, which are morality, beauty, labor. Morality, beauty, and labor. Once it is found to be a spy from the immortal realm, just like the head in my hand, then he will crush it. The first assessment is to test. The examiner told the examinees, after the order, open the pot on the table and immediately kill it. The last 3 are considered to have failed. All demons lifted the pot, but in front of Tang Chuan was a cute little dog. And other demons were all melted by it. It is said that owning it is the brightest guy in the devil world. But Tang Chuan slapped it directly. The cute puppy died like this. But Tang Chuan passed the first round of assessment calmly. Even the examiner sighed that this guy was a scumbag. It turns out that Tang Chuan couldn't even kill the puppy. It was just a substitution with tomato and beef buns. And in the second assessment, the examiner said that just being good isn't enough. Only cunning can win the fight against the immortal world. 3 of the 10 people had the pass cards. As long as you find it, you can pass. Each person has 1 chance, with 3 rounds in total. There is no physical contact during the process. This assessment is to test your scheming. Several demon examiners then pointed out their suspects. Tang Chuan has been quietly watching Chun Yu. He wondered who they suspected. He thought that he couldn't be selected in so many rounds. The probability is a bit abnormal. Then he expressed suspicion of one of them. When the examiner came closer to hear who Tang Chuan suspected, he showed a surprised reaction. And Tang Chuan looked at the person's reaction. He was more certain that number 5 had the pass card. Number 5 shouted that there was only 1 chance. You just looked over. The examiner's face would change. Tang Chuan explained that he hadn't said who he suspected. Your expression already betrayed you, number 5. He immediately scolded the examiner. The examiner said it was your problem. Because the first thing he said to me was not to suspect anyone. He said he was a spy from the fairyland. Tang Chuan passed the test again. The big shots in the underworld were watching him. They praised him as a rare bad guy. They were going to enter the next assessment. While Tang Chuan was curious about what the test was, he found a bunch of girls changing clothes behind the door, and there was the fairy. The fairy is being tortured. It is facing the biggest crisis in history. The fairy followed Tang Chuan to the demon world as a spy. But she didn't have the unique totem of the demon world. She was exposed. Tang Chuan not only carved a totem for her on the spot, but also showed his stupid totem, which shocked everyone present. Lianer. Demons like to engrave their attack and cultivation on their bodies, while trust keeps themselves clean. There can be no misunderstandings on the body. Tang Chuan thought that by this way to identify, I'm really a sly fox. But Ning Sixing seemed completely unprepared and randomly tested the spell. The shadow on the ground turned into a snake and followed Ningxi. While he was being questioned by other demons in the locker room, on his body. And the snake transformed from the shadow was engraved on his leg. which surprised Ning Xixing. And the totem also glowed with a red light. Why didn't you show the totem earlier? But it's inevitable that you carved it in this position. Then the next batch of demon cultivators was invited in. Passing by, Tang Chuan whispered, "I've taken it back. You are selfish." He realized that it was Senior Tang Chuan who saved him. Then it was the male demon cultivator's turn to show his totem. There were not only the frost giant wolf killed by Bing Lian, but also the Qinyun Reef from Haiyan Valley. The strong man next to him laughed. "Your totem won't be a penis, will it?" "Why don't you show it now?" The demons present all laughed at him. Suddenly, Tang Chuan gave him the middle finger. "This is my totem." This mocking gesture made the strong man furious. Although the area is small, it was indeed a permanent rune, and it's a spell rune. It was engraved with such a noble magic pattern. This despicable is really awesome. Then he was ready to take the next test. The other totems on Tang Chuan's body couldn't be used anymore. I'm here to be undercover, not to be the devil. The fourth test doesn't require the use of magic tattoos, because Xixing is curious how useless it is. The postgraduate entrance examination explained it was originally to have sex with a man. A bald, rough man blushed and wanted to escape, but was beheaded by the bull demon behind him. It turns out that immortals and demons cannot practice together. Otherwise, cultivation will be lost. The fourth test is to practice with the fox demon, to test the undercover agent. Yin Xixing worried about Tang Chuan. Wouldn't he take revenge? As soon as Tang Chuan walked in, they found the fox demons waiting for him seductively. This man is simply amazing. The 3 fox demons wanted to have sex with him, just to confirm if he is an undercover agent from Fairyland. But the cynical girl was actually lingering, and even scoffed at the other candidates, and regarded them as fools. It turns out that only by cultivating both immortals and demons, one will lose all spiritual power. That's why this fourth test is arranged, to exclude the undercover agents from the Fairyland. Tang Chuan thought there were 3 at once. Even demons would not be deficient in yang energy. Don't worry, I'll be gentle. You don't move. Could you be a spy from the immortal realm? Tang Chuan was not happy to hear this. He must want to see my power. The scene in front of him made the fox demon speechless. It's so powerful. While Nin Xixing was still standing aside, worrying that Tang Chuan would be exposed. Then they heard a sound from behind the door. Everyone was surprised that the fox demon screamed. Tang Chuan was sweating profusely, saying where the next assessment is. The fox demon's sister was reluctant to part. "Brother, don't go." Ning Xixing was blushing with embarrassment. Damn, is he a fairy or a devil? The behind-the-scenes boss of the demon world saw his strength and ruled out his suspicion and wanted to win him over. But there is one last assessment, which is the key. The fifth assessment is based on combat power to determine the position in the demon world. The examiner said that the winners of each group all have the opportunity to enter the elite team. Yes, do your best. Tang Chuan felt bored before the exam started because he is the strongest. But the 2 losers behind him were staring at him. Do we know each other? Did you use cheats to rush so fast in the last round, causing us to be defeated by the fox demon mage, and called us little trash? We can't compare with you. It's all because of you. We lost face. Today, I will make you unable to get up. Tang Chuan was not slack. You are not as skilled as others. You said I cheated. Is it possible? I mean, it's possible. You are really bad at it. And everyone was already furious and attacked Tang Chuan. The boss behind the scenes said, "What's wrong with this person? Challenging 9 opponents. Either he is courageous or he is stupid."